Last night, Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said they support border security, but what do they really mean? Here's what they talked about last night. We can build infrastructure. We can install new technologies to scan cars and trucks. We can hire personnel. We can have innovation at the border. Okay, here's the thing. Is this all just empty words? All of these suggestions are already in operation at the border. Problems still persist. Let's bring in White House correspondent with the Daily Caller, Amber Athey, and we welcome Democrat strategist Bernard Whitman. Amber, I mean, there are virtual drones, virtual walls, more agents. Nothing is stopping the influx of illegals, human traffickers, and drug smugglers. Your take, Amber?
Exactly. Democrats saying that they support border security, but supporting things like drones and other technological measures that already exist at the border is just a way to try to appeal to the American people to act like they're trying to solve this problem. But Border Patrol agents have directly requested a wall, and specifically the steel slats that President Donald Trump has been talking about recently. They want that for a multitude of reasons, whether it's funneling illegal immigrants to ports of entry so that they can be more easily detained, or whether it's preventing people like the ones in the migrant caravan who tried to rush the border all at once and make their way past border agents. It's for the safety of border agents and to reduce illegal immigration.
Bernard, welcome to the show. You know, the Border Patrol guys keep saying that the border wall needs fixing, it needs repair, it needs updating. We've got Bill and Hillary Clinton saying a wall is effective. We had Barack Obama saying a barrier, a wall is effective, fencing is effective. We had Chuck Schumer saying that. Why are they saying it's ineffective now?
What they're saying is they're rejecting Donald Trump's proposal to build a wall across 2,000 miles of the border. It just doesn't make sense. Currently, the border is 1,954 miles long. About a third of that, 700 miles, has some type of fencing.
I don't think he's saying, sorry, Bernard, I don't think he's saying the entire border. Sorry, he's not saying the entire border, Bernard.
He has talked about spending almost $6 billion to build a border wall across the entire southern U.S.
He's
border.
not talking about that now. Here's the thing, switching gears, here's the thing. Amber, we had, you know, back in 2013, Democrats were for $8 billion for the wall. Chuck Schumer in January of last year, the Democrats are saying yes to $25 billion. Now they're saying just $1.6 billion. The president literally walked out of a meeting today in frustration. Here is the president responding to a reporter talking about what's going on at the border. Let's listen to this soundbite. Watch.
So why not sign the other bills, though, so some of these workers can get paid, the government...
You think I should do that? No, do you think I should do that, John?
I mean, it's not for me.
I mean, I watch your one-sided reporting. So you would do that if you were in my position. You'd do that.
I'm not in your position. I'm asking you if that's something you...
I'm asking you, would you do that if you were in my position? Because if you would do that, you should never be in this position. Because you'd never get anything done.
Amber, later in the show, we're going to show CNN's Chris Cuomo saying, you know what, maybe it's time we listen to the Border Patrol guys. They know what we need at the border. Everybody's ignoring them. Your take here.
Well, it turns out the president was right in that exchange with John Carl, because he said later that the reason he ended up walking out of the meeting was because he asked Democrats straight up, if I reopen these portions of the government like you've requested, will you support a border wall? And they said no. So it makes no logical or political sense for the president to do that, because he loses any leverage he has in order to get Democrats to support real border security, not the kind that they are saying they support, which is not really security at all.
Let's show on the full screen, guys, former acting Homeland Security Secretary Elaine Duke saying border fences do work, crime significantly drops when you have strong barriers. Listen, this whole conversation, Bernard, has been warped and distorted. Basically, the liberal mainstream media is saying that this is a racist wall, that it's all about racism. You know, there are many minorities in law enforcement and on the Border Patrol saying, hey, we need help. This works. So this feels like there's a disconnect that's going on in the media.
But let's break this down. To put almost $6 billion into a border wall exclusively is like, in this day and age, saying, you know, we're going to put 1 million TV antennas on top of buildings all across the U.S. to improve television reception in the age of the Internet. We need to use advanced technologies. We need to use virtual walls. We need to use sensors.
Yeah,
we need to use drones.
That, but it's still
we need to use technology. We need to use training.
It's still a problem, right? The border guys are saying it's still a problem. We got all that technology. It's still a problem.
Excuse me, can I finish? Can I finish, Amber? Illegal border crossings have gone down from 1.6 million put border crossings 18 years ago to 400,000. It's been a 75% decline. We can use technology to better interdict people.
Understood.
With better training than investing in building a concrete or even a steel slat fence across the entire border. Are we going to steal land from ranchers? Or are we going to build a wall in the middle of the Rio Grande?
Those are all
it's not
valid
going
debates.
To work.
Yes, Bernard, you're making good points. It's about public seizure of private lands. That's important in this debate, Bernard. You're saying, but Amber, the final word: the fact that the numbers have dropped to 400,000 or so. That's still a lot of people trying to cross. I mean, there's a lot of illegals trying to cross still, Amber.
Right. They're detaining close to 2,000 people a day at the border trying to cross illegally. Part of the reason why the numbers have gone down was because the United States is recovering from a recession, so there was less economic incentive for illegal immigrants to come across the border, not to mention the fact that there's a record number of families being detained at the border right now.
Listen, we're humanitarian as a country. We are. We want to take care of refugees and immigrants. But the thing is, do it legally. That's what the immigrant community is saying,
But our economy is on fire, Amber. What are you talking about? This would be a great time.
I'm explaining why it was declining prior to now.
Okay, Amber, Bernard, you guys are great tonight. You're going to be back in just a bit. We love having these debates. CNN's Chris Cuomo, a lone voice in the media, he's getting attacked and ripped viciously for saying, hey, listen to the border guys. They're saying we do need better barriers on the border. We need to spend money on it. Watch.
There is a barrier system all along the southern border. They need more. Anybody who does the reporting, anybody who talks to the people down there doing the work, the men and women, they need more of what the president is increasingly describing as his own idea for a bollard fence.
Okay, MSNBC hopping on the bandwagon saying, you know what? This whole debate that President Trump is wrong. Let's listen to what they're saying. Watch.
This exercise where everybody, networks, the Democrats, everybody is acting as if he's fit and taking part in this colossal waste of time, which would be this presidency, instead of looking at it and saying this person is not fit to lead and acting on that fact. I'm not sure why it's not happening.
Let's bring back the power panel, Amber Athey and Bernard Whitman. It's interesting, Bernard, that Cuomo is saying, hey, listen to the border guys. But, you know, with the media, it's sort of like, you know, they speak in one voice, ex cathedra, and you're supposed to all fall in line and not disagree with the line that's coming out of the D.C. media Beltway echo chamber, Bernard.
If you actually listen to what Chris Cuomo said, he said that border wall, border security, border fencing has some part to play, certainly in urban areas, certainly in places that it makes sense.
Why are you
that is not at all. That is not at all what President Trump. That's not at all what President Trump is suggesting. President Trump is suggesting, as Will Hurd, the Republican congressman that has his district stretched from El Paso to San Antonio across practically the entire Rio Grande. The worst way to ensure border security is to build a barrier fence across the entire spectrum of the border from sea to shining sea. Republicans do not
the
want
president
this.
is not saying that. He's saying repair what's there. He's not talking about sea to shining sea.
He's not saying repair
Bernard,
at all.
let's get to Amber.
Yeah,
he is. You know what? Sorry, forgive me. That is true, Bernard. I have listened and read transcripts of the president is saying
He's not
in
talking about
detail,
repairing
and
a wall.
clearly you have
Never
not
said
read
that.
it, but clearly we have read it, and what you're saying is wrong. Amber, you know, here's the thing. When we get into nitpicking details about what is needed at the border, when the Border Patrol guys are saying time in and time out for years, since the 90s, it's a problem at the border, fix it, Amber.
The National Border Patrol Council surveyed their members last spring, and 89% of them said yes, fencing and a physical barrier in some places on the border would, yes, be very, very helpful. And the president is not proposing a concrete wall across all 2,000 miles of the border. If you look at his proposed plan, it is informed directly by Department of Homeland Security and Border Patrol agents who want more fences built in high-trafficked areas, concrete walls in places that are prone to flooding, and then repairing the existing fences and adding concertina wire. That is his plan.
Okay, Amber and Bernard, you guys are going to come back soon. We love the fiery passion there. Come back. Maybe next week we'll have you on. You guys are great together.